Day off, visiting a friend.
All right, move on through.
Thanks.
Close it off! Fireflies! They're running!
Come on, let's go. Go, let's go. Come on.
Surrounding area immediately.
Looks like the coast is clear. Come on.
Attention. Checkpoint 5 is now closed until further notice. All civilians.
So much for the easy route. Patch yourself up, all right? They're gonna close all the checkpoints. We're gonna have to go around the outside.
Outside the wall.
Or we could just let Robert go.
Cute.
So we're getting a ton of information right now.
It's clear. I just used it. No patrols. And where are you off?
Exposition is one of the biggest pain in the ass in storytelling, and
Marlene?
Last of Us does a pretty elegant way, or has a pretty elegant way of doing it,
What do the Fireflies need with
considering
Think she'd tell me.
they have to build and establish the rules of this new
Goodness.
future deteriorated world.
The military's gonna be out in force soon.
Yeah, see you around.
Marlene looking for Robert? What do you make of that?
I don't like it. We better find him before the Fireflies do.
So we learned that Marlene is the leader of the Fireflies. Robert is, I guess, just one of a freelance operator, kind of like Joel and Tess are, who procure items for people, whether it be drugs, guns, things that would make your mama proud.
Y'all take it easy out there.
Oh, God, this place reeks. I need to watch me throw away down here. They're being locked. Let's grab our gear.
Tess is just one example of the very incredibly well-written women that are,
Our backpacks.
is a common feature of Naughty Dog games, whether it be Uncharted, Last of Us.
Not a lot of ammo.
The shots count.
She's clearly the boss here. And, Joel's just kind of along for the ride. The game kind of establishes Joel as something
Boost me up.
something of a shark. If he keeps moving, he's fine.
You ready?
If he stops and has to deal with his trauma, his loss, it's unclear he can handle it. So really, he goes from one thing to the next, whether it's Tess to Ellie to, it used to be his brother. He always had to find something to give him a reason to survive in a world that doesn't offer its own.
Careful.
When am I not?
That a trick question? Ain't been out here in a while.
It's like we're on a date.
Well, I am the romantic type.
Got your ways.
It's interesting the way they set up Joel and Tess, because there's clearly an attraction isn't right. There's clearly a strong bond between the two of them, but they never really explicitly state whether it was anything more than a
Got it.
professional relationship. There may have been some drunken evenings, but I think for both of them in this world,
Ladies first.
relationships are
You must be thinking of someone else.
something of a
That's all really.
liability,
This way.
something that's stressed by a number of characters in this game. If you hear something that sounds like a duck, that's my Chihuahua.
Down through here.
Just for the record, it is not part of the Last of Us
Once we get our
world.
merchandise back, it should be easy.
Oh yeah, flashlight. That's useful.
Speaking of merchandise, when's that next shipment due?
We're meeting Bill next month. More pills, lots of ammo. Supposedly. Hold up. Spores.
And here is where we get our first indicator of what exactly we witnessed in the prologue.
Where the hell are all these coming from? It was clear last time.
Coming out of something.
The spores are
Stay alert.
clearly part of what happened to people.
Better keep your eyes and ears open.
I absolutely love what they chose to do with the quote-unquote zombies. They're essentially walking plants. You can see the stems sticking out of the arms and legs, the fungus growing on the bodies, fungus growing out from the bodies.
Should be able to fit through here.
And that's even before we get to the things like the clickers, which may be one of my favorite video game enemies. They're creepy and terrifying, and they look cool as hell. So this gentleman knows he's fucked. If this were on a harder difficulty, I would not be merciful, but I'll have plenty of ammo, so I don't gotta worry about it here. Okay, forgive me. I've been playing Days Gone for the past several days. So I'm gonna end up reloading when I should be punching, and punching when I should be reloading, and I'm going in circles. What is, there we go. I like to not finish games and bounce back and forth so that I can confuse my controls at every opportunity. So here's an interesting thing. This focus hearing, it's an interesting choice that they made. If you watch the documentary, you hear them mention, you have to make a game fun. And if you're constantly getting, say, like, grabbed from behind when you don't see an enemy or something like that, it diminishes the fun. I'm terrible at my job. Listen how meaty those punches are. God, the sound in this game is just amazing.
All right, that's all of them.
Wow, that's embarrassing. Okay.
Let's head back into the city.
What was I talking about? Oh, the echo thing. I forget it's there half the time because I've played this on harder difficulties, and you don't have access to it in those harder difficulties. See, I'm trying to reload and I'm punching shit like a moron. But I can see it both ways. I think the harder difficulties, I think the game is superior on those difficulties because you have to consider ammo. The crafting becomes really precarious if you're doing the wrong things. Or you have to make these really hard choices. Do I create a med kit, or do I create a med kit, or do I use it for a Molotov cocktail, those types of things. So I think it's a better overall game with those things in play. That being said, you do experience a great deal more cheap deaths on the harder difficulties where you don't you don't see some of the enemies coming.
They weren't a
Um,
fire, that'd be a good idea.
And the way they designed this, it gives you a chance to sort of
Through here.
ameliorate some of those problems.
Cover the entrance.
I got it.
You're able to see where the enemies are coming from and plan accordingly.
Damn it. Plank fell down. Here, pass it to me.
It's a bit heavy.
I think I can handle it.
All right.
There we have the beginning pieces of what are considered puzzles in The Last of Us. How do I get from here to
Leave
there?
us up here.
Well, there's
Let's move.
probably a plank somewhere. So this is a this is a weird thing that I only now would even recognize because I have quarantine hair and COVID beard. Joel's hair was clearly cut by scissors. There's no electricity anywhere, so a clipper cut is not going to make a whole lot of sense in this world. So you can see the fact that there are all these little sort of clumps. That's what you get when you cut your hair with scissors.
Make sure
Just
there ain't no
another
soldiers around.
Naughty Dog detail.
It's clear. Come on.
I love the way they designed Boston just with brick and green. There's this really striking contrast between the two, and it establishes the theme of, you know, nature encroaching on man and the sort of battle between the two. You know, even the fungus itself, you know, it's nature taking over the human body.
Look at that ammo. I'm sure we'll need it.
Yeah, if I shoot like I have been.
Hey, little man. Make sure the coast is clear.
In games like this, the game makers and the storytellers have every opportunity to over-explain what is going on. And what Naughty Dog does is they set up an environment
Make it more interesting.
and let you piece things together yourself, rather than a character. Well, do you remember when blah 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 blah? You know, even, you know, things remain kind of vague.
Hey, pretty lady, how you doing today? I heard you
Not
got
right
some
now,
work.
Terrence.
No, it's good. Look, I
Not
got the car.
now. You hear me?
So here, just this random NPC lets us know that, you know, Tess is someone that people know, someone that people respect and even fear.
Tess, it's been a while. You don't visit us anymore.
That she's a prominent figure in this environment. Let's take a moment just to appreciate the sounds of punches in this game. God, the sound's so good. I'm going to say that a lot over the next 5 to 7 days. Just
Sorry, Tess.
be warned.
I realize you two were together. Go ahead.
Yeah, he ain't afraid of Joel. He's afraid of Tess, though. And you completely
No,
buy
it's
it.
fake.
It is not. It's not something that they have to sell really hard because of the performance of the actor and just the way they set her up in these little ways as the badass of this pairing.
I'm looking for Robert. You come through here?
Half hour ago. He went back to the ward. He's there now.
So I don't have any tattoos, but I've given strong consideration to getting the Firefly emblem. But
Here we go.
technically they're the adversaries in this game.
Let us through.
You guys need to turn around and head back if you know what's good for you.
Our beef isn't with you. We just want Robert. You don't want to do this.
Turn the fuck around and leave now.
I'm not going anywhere without Robert.
Bitch, I will bash your skull unless you turn around and get your dumb ass out of here.
Fuck this.
Take cover!
Tess is fucking cold. Oh, all right. I am not, by any means a bad gamer, but oh, come on. All right, Tess can have it.
Nicely done.
Me too.
I'm not going to make any highlight reels with my shooting.
Robert's good at one thing. It's writing blank checks. Let's go put an end to that.
Yeah, so the thing with Robert, like I said, they keep it vague.
Going through here.
You only really need this sort of base understanding of the relationship. Oh, here's one of my favorite pathetic parts of the game. Joel has like a 4-inch vertical. Look at this jump. And then the little woman has to pull him all the way up. Granted, I've tried to figure out how old exactly Joel is. He's got to be in his 50s. He does say that he had Sarah when he was really young. Sarah was probably 12, so let's say 17, 29. So yeah, 49. He's got to be 50, if not a little older.
More Robert's guys.
How do you know they're coming? Two of our guys died.
Watch this look from Tess.
Guarantee that
What are you
she's
gonna do?
on their way here right now to get Robert. Jesus. We shouldn't have taken this job. Not our call. Let's spread out and make sure no one's creeping around in here.
Can I go? Can I go? Thank you.
Move up. Move up.
Shh. Be quiet. We have to be quiet. These chokeouts are incredibly brutal. In fact, a lot of the human-to-human violence in this game is really, really rough.
I meant to tell you. I was down in Jordan.
The game emphasizes the human brutality at every opportunity, and I think it helps to emphasize the quandary that Joel is in when it comes to Ellie, in that what has more value, the people that you love or humanity at large. And this this game does an exceptional job of making you consider, you know, has humanity earned a second chance, or do we take the lives that we have and protect the people that we love at all costs? I've played this game a dozen times and I still don't have the best. I don't have an answer to that question. I do tend to side, maybe not side with Joel, but I believe I'm more inclined to, I would be more inclined to make the choice that Joel does at the end of the game. when I'll never forget when Greg Miller, I think he was at IGN at the time. It had to have been before Kind of Funny, but so they were doing their spoiler cast. Somebody saw me. Nope, they didn't. Well, they should have. And the first thing he said when they went to spoilers was, "So I've been playing as the bad guy because of the choice that Joel makes at the end of the game." And I remember being sort of floored that he had said that. I was like, "What do you mean? He saved the girl that, or he saved the person that he cared for most. How is that? How's that make him the bad guy?" But it just goes to show, and I've seen as I've played it more, Naughty Dog doesn't give you easy answers. Joel is a very, very, very damaged individual who, fuck you, paint can. Who he runs from. He runs from things that are difficult and might actually, promote healing. And this is a world that, you know, that has value, that has merit. Yeah. So yeah, it's complicated. And I'm a little disturbed that Druckmann and company seem to be hinting that the sort of the moral decisions you have to make in part 2 are going to be even more difficult, because shit, this game puts you through the ringer. I can't even imagine how much darker it can get. I mean, I can imagine, but oh, what is wrong with me? Oh, yeah. Oof, that's brutal. So yeah, Joel is complicated.
You're right.
I think he's...
Come on. The docks are this way.
Oh, I thought there was one guy left.
We can do this.
He's certainly a... I just didn't want you to be surprised. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong monitor. Oh, that was funky. He is certainly he's as complicated protagonist as you're going to find in video games. I think the only other thing that has come close, and until a year or two ago I would not have said this, is Kratos in the new God of War. Another character who is facing, who is having to face a violent past with a young charge, and I think it's indicative of just the age of game developers. You know, even
Let's be smart about this.
between Last of Us 1 starting development and Last of Us 2, you know, I became a father, I got married. That changes how you see the world, for good and sometimes for ill. And I think we're seeing that brought to the stories we're telling in video games, in a way that these sort of testosterone-fueled aughts and 90s they just didn't do. Okay, where's my weapon wheel? Okay. Oh, I should not have played any other games before doing this, because my controls are jacked up.
Looks like you are good for something.
Yeah, I'm good for cold-blooded murder. Ah, the shivs. Shivs become a freaking nightmare on higher difficulties because of the shiv doors. Did someone see me? And of course their usefulness against clickers. So do I open a door that maybe I get recouped on my shiv, or do I just save it for the inevitable? Ooh, clicker shit I'll run into later. Ooh. So I've been watching other people stream this game on Twitch the past few days, and it's been kind of a hilarious experience because Last of Us really is a super stealthy game. It is a game that will punish you if you do not take care of enemies sort of meticulously and carefully and quietly and slowly. Especially on higher difficulties where ammo is precious and resources are precious, and you know, every shot that you take, you're not guaranteed to recoup that. Oh shit, to recoup that that ammo. Are you serious? Come on, man. Oh yeah, see, here's what I'm talking about. I totally forgot I can do this. Because on harder difficulties, I cannot. What are the odds I can grab that guy without? Without being seen by the other two. Turn around, turn around, turn around. Back up, back up. Oh, I'm gonna get seen. Darn it! Again, if this were a harder difficulty, I'd be really pissed right now. Especially the way I'm shooting tonight. But... oops! That's not the reload button. No! Oh my god. Where are you, dude? I'm gonna hit you with the board. Is that cool? Yeah. I should get combo points for that.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
We just want to talk, Robert.
We got fucking nothing to talk about.
Wait,
Put your gun down.
Go fuck
that's not Bronn, is it?
He's running.
Kind of looks like Bronn from Game of Thrones. Wait, what's the run button?
Joel, this way. Come on, he ran in
Yeah, he did. Bronn of the Blackwater.
We almost got him.
Yeah, we do. Because I'm speedy for a 50-year-old. Run! Corner, man. So, Naughty Dog is not going to let you forget how bad,
Hello, Robert.
how uncompromising these characters are.
No hard feelings, right?
None at all.
God damn it!
We missed you.
Look, whatever it is you heard, it ain't true, okay? I just want to
The
say...
guns. You want to tell us where the guns are?
Yeah, sure, but it's complicated. Look, all right, just hear me out on this. I got... Fuck. Stop Stop! Ugh.
Quit your squirming. You were saying?
I sold him.
Excuse me.
I didn't have much of a choice. I owed someone.
You owed us. I'd say you bet on the wrong horse.
I just need more time. Give me a week.
You know, I might have done that if you hadn't tried to fucking kill me.
Come on, it won't
Who
like
has
that.
our guns?
I can't. Just give me a couple.
So, in case anyone had illusions about our sweet, lovable Joel anymore,
What?
this scene does
They're basically all dead.
rather efficiently puts an end
Just go in
to
there,
all that.
Finish them off. We get the guns. What do you say? Come on, and fuck those fireflies. Just go get them.
That is a stupid idea.
Joel didn't even blink.
Well, now what?
We go get our merchandise back.
How?
I don't know. We explain it to them. Look, let's go find a firefly.
We won't have to look very far.
Go.
Another lady boss.
Queen Firefly.
Why are you here?
Business. You aren't looking so hot.
Where's Robert? I needed him alive.
The guns he gave you, they weren't his to sell. I want them back.
Doesn't work like that, Tess.
The hell it doesn't.
I paid for those guns. You want them back? You're gonna have to earn them.
How many cards are we talking about?
I don't give a damn about ration cards. I need something smuggled out of the city. You do that, I'll give you your guns back, and then some.
How do we know you got them? Well, I hear the military's been wiping you guys out.
Right about that. I'll show you the weapons. I gotta move. What's it gonna be?
I want to see those guns.
Follow me. We gotta get out of here. Now. You want this deal? We gotta move. Through here. I know a way around this. Come on.
Holy shit. Is that your people?
What's left of them? Why do you think I'm turning to you guys? This way.
Again, sort of the economy and storytelling that Naughty Dog is so good at.
Quiet.
Like, we don't need the dirty details of
They've been trying to
the
rile
crackdown on the Fireflies. We don't really even need to know what the Fireflies are about. All these things are just conflict that's that surround Joel. Switching games.
Joel, give me a hand with this.
Wow, this door looks exactly like a hidden loading screen.
Hey, how you holding up?
I'll live. Hold up. Soldiers. That's the way out. The door under the bridge.
Ain't a big fan of these odds.
We can sneak by them, even though I know that's not your stuff.
We'll see how it goes.
so much of the beginning of this game is conflict between humans. You know, starving people fighting over scraps, which is really the true danger in this world. And the gameplay establishes that too. When you're dealing with the zombies, for lack of a better word, it's the gameplay is just, it kind of simplifies a little bit. You know, there are these rules that you can't violate or they're going to come after you. But with the humans, it always feels different, both because they're more brutal, they're more tactical, and unless you're a sociopath, the game makes you feel different about taking out the humans, even when they are ones that are unspeakably evil. All right, here's where. So the very first time I played this game, I know there's a lot of jokes about like Ellie or Tess running in front of, you know, doing circles around enemies that should have seen them. For whatever reason, the first time I played this game, it was absolutely perfect. I didn't have a single case of, oh shit, oh, I messed that up. I didn't have a single case of, oh well, they should have seen them. I was just lucky, I guess. No, I didn't use my super secret hearing. But even when that's not perfect, it's still pretty incredible the way they're able to incorporate these escorts into essential parts of the game, or making them essential parts of the game without making it distracting or oh, did that, okay, I'm fine. I mean, they literally took one of the worst, I'm gonna get spotted, one of the worst aspects of modern video game, which is the escort mission, and made it a vital, rewarding part of this game, which that in and of itself is a miracle. I shouldn't say a miracle. It's a credit to the game makers. Yes, unlike the people I watched on Twitch today, I employ the stealth because the game, that's how the game teaches you to play. I don't like to say there's a right, wrong way to play games, but there are certainly ways of playing the games that make things unnecessarily hard on yourself. I've also been playing the... Oh, my teeth! I've also been playing the Soulsborne games, and those are a good example of, especially Sekiro. If you play Sekiro the way you're used to playing Soulsborne games, you're not going to have a good time, and the game is going to freaking wreck you. But if you learn to play the game the way the design and the game makers intend you to, it's a super, super rewarding experience, and you find yourself doing things you never would have believed you were capable of.
Where are we going, Marlene?
This way. It's not far now. fumes. But I'll make it. The place is right up ahead.
Attention. Curfew is now in full effect. Anyone caught outside without proper authorization will be arrested and prosecuted.
The hell are we smuggling?
I'll show you.
Attention. Curfew is now in full effect. Anyone caught outside without proper authorization will be arrested and prosecuted.
Joel, give me a hand with this.
Sure, because nothing's harder in the apocalypse than doors.
Come on now. Get on up.
And here she is.
Hey!
Let her go.
You're recruiting kind of young, aren't you?
She's not one of mine.
Oh, shit.
So my feelings about Ellie are interesting, and
I got his help,
Joel
but I can't come with you.
Joel is so much like me,
Well, then I'm
or
staying,
I
Ellie.
can understand his way of thinking so much that's why I'm drawn to him.
You're smuggling her?
There's a crew of fireflies that'll meet you at the
Ellie is just
That's not exactly
an
close.
impossible
You're capable.
character to dislike.
Hand her off, come back, the weapons
You know,
are yours.
she's young,
Double
she's
what Robert
gutsy, she's
Speaking of
fearless,
where are they?
Back
she's
home.
funny. Just one of
We're
the
not smuggling
most,
shit until I see them.
just an absolutely magical
You can follow
character.
me. You can verify
And
the weapons. I can get patched up. But she's
I've
not
thought a
possible to
lot
talk to.
about, because this game means so
Don't
much to
show
me,
much over here.
and because
Ellie.
the actors Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson are
How
so
do you know that?
important to how successful this game is, I thought about what it would be like to meet them.
Was that before or after he left?
And the thing about when you examine that is
He was a good man.
there's something about Joel
Take her to the North Tunnel and we
that I feel like Troy Baker had to become Joel.
No more talk.
I think Ashley Johnson was so good
Fine.
at what she was doing that Ellie became more like
Don't take long.
Ashley Johnson as the game.
Stay
So they actually went in opposite directions. So meeting Troy Baker, the guy's a, you know, he's very pretty. He's a good-looking young man. He is nothing like Joel. Not that Joel doesn't have his own, appeal,
heard all the shooting.
but so it's hard to even relate the two as the same. Whereas Ashley Johnson, even though she's playing a character that was what,
Following you?
probably 10 to 12 years younger than her, somehow meeting Ashley Johnson would be more like meeting Ellie than meeting Troy Baker would be
Down here.
meeting Joel. And that's just in my own personal reactions. I think if I met either of them, I would make an ass of myself just because of how much this game has ended up meaning to me over the years.
Where are we going?
Up there. That'll get us to the North Tunnel.
How are we supposed to reach that?
Just give me a minute.
Just give me a minute. So when I played this game for the first time, I had a 2.5-year-old. Playing it again recently to prepare for this stream, I now have a 9-year-old. And the the behavior of Ellie towards Joel is so much funnier and so much more spot on. I love that Joel doesn't wait for her. Like, he doesn't let her go first. He's just like, "Can you get on up, please?" It's so much funnier because his exasperation and his impatience
No.
is is so
I don't know.
accurate and so relatable in a way that you know, having a 2.5-year-old
Leader of the Fireflies.
where you're just
12.
mainly concerned with them not finding ways to injure
And I'm
themselves
14. Not that that has any.
is so much. It's just so different in the past 7 years than it was when I first played this game.
Been gone a long, long time.
So instead of just staying in school, you decide to run up and join the Fireflies, is that it?
Look, I'm not supposed to tell you why you're smuggling me, if that's what you're getting at.
You know the best thing about my job? I don't gotta know why. To be honest with you, I give two shits what you're up to.
Well, great.
Good.
At this point, I don't get the sense that Joel is seeing Sarah in Ellie. I'm sure she's not the first young girl that he's run into over the past 20 years.
What are you doing?
But I think this is the first time that there's
Hey,
any
what
sort
am
of
I supposed to
connection made when she mentions his watch.
Figure that out.
Your watch is broken. You mumble in your sleep. I hate bad dreams.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I've never been this close. It's the outside. Look how dark it is.
I love lines like that work on
Can't be any
2
worse.
levels. Look how dark it is outside.
Can it?
What on earth do the Fireflies want with you?
Hey, sorry it took so long. Soldiers fucking everywhere.
How's Marlene?
She'll make it. Gotta sell the merchandise. It's a lot. Wanna do this?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I only have 6 rounds.
Having us do their smuggling.
Marlene wanted to do it herself. We weren't their first choice. Lost a lot of men. Beggars can't be choosers.
So I can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Someone will be around.
But talk and play video games at the same time. Look at Tess. One arm in that like a boss. Oh, excuse me. Ladies first. So who puts the bookcase back? It doesn't matter. Who cares? So here's a nice little gameplay design thing. They have you start the generator here. There's only one other generator in the game,
Who's waiting for us at the drop?
but it's used
She said there's some
so exquisitely that the last thing the developers want when you run into that the first time is to have to sort of learn how to do it with all the tension and the suspense around it.
I need you to follow our lead and stay put.
Of course.
Hold up. There's a patrol up ahead. All right. We're good. Come on up. Come on, kid. Watch your step. This rain ain't gonna do us any good.
Holy shit. I'm actually outside.
So here you have Ellie set up against Joel, where she still has some bit of wonder, you know, just being out in the rain, is this incredible thing to her, whereas Joel, you know, Joel is burnt out and cynical and tends to mock those sorts of sentiments from her. Oh, listen to that sound. Ow, my teethers.
Turn around, on your knees. Scan him, I'll call it in.
Put your hands on your head.
This is Ramirez at Sector 12, requesting pickup for 3 stragglers. Understood.
Look the other way. Gonna make this worth your while.
Shut up. Tired of shit. What's the ETA?
Couple minutes.
So this is the first time I realized she actually said sorry
Hold him up or something.
to the guy she stabbed in the leg.
Oh shit. Look.
Jesus Christ. Marlene set us up? Why the hell are we smuggling an infected girl?
I'm not infected.
No? Just lying?
I can explain.
You better explain fast.
Look at this.
I don't care how you got infected.
It's 3 weeks old.
No, everyone turns within 2 days, so you stop bullshitting.
It's 3 weeks. I swear. Why would she set you up?
I ain't buying it.
That is...
Yes. Run. Run!
Go! Go! Move!
So, in my practice playthrough, I got absolutely stomped in this area, so please forgive me for what you're about to see. It may not be awesome.
When I give you the signal, you run. Now, run. Stay away from those lights.
Oh, here's... So...
Ellie, it's gonna be another sprint. You ready?
Oh, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Is it Gustavo? Shit. The score for this game was essentially done by one dude and is, much like the rest of the game, you know, super effective in its sort of minimalist design.
Stay down, don't let him see you.
Go away, man. Ooh. Oh, son of a bitch. Go in there. God, I'm terrible. Hey, where'd you guys go?
I hear him up ahead.
Man, no way you saw me. This game cheats.
We can get through here.
You guys have any ammo?
Come on, Ellie.
All right, here's where I just absolutely...
Everybody get down.
Oh, good. So I got a bottle to start. This is so bad at this.
Ain't spotted us yet. Let's go around.
This is a good example of the game teaching you that sometimes fighting is very, very bad idea. No, shit. Fuck. No, stop it. Yeah. Now, I can get shot here, but yes, I am impressed by me. That went much better than last time, where I essentially fist fought 4 of those dudes and died like thrice. Am I missing? Oh, pipe.
Yeah, this looks right. Stay close.
At least we're out of the rain.
Thank heavens for small favors. Is that the phrase? I don't remember.
Think we can squeeze through here. Shit. I got more soldiers.
Target's still on the loose, sir. Break off pursuit and report back to Sector 11.
I don't think they see us.
So I guess it's worth saying
Stay in the shadows.
that this game plays very, very different. Not plays different. It feels different with everything that's going on in the world right now. You know, some of the things that are set up in the opening credits with the news of what's gone on in the world over the past 20 years sound a little too familiar between the current pandemic and then the protests going on. In some ways, especially when we're dealing with like the militarism and the sort of
I think we can make it through here.
Stay very close.
the totalitarian tactics of the police or the army or whatever they are now, feels almost shamefully shamefully possible, shamefully accurate, which is some meaning that was not there when the game came out in 2013.
All right, they're gone.
What was the plan? Let's say that we deliver you to the Fireflies. What then?
Marlene, she said that they have their own little quarantine zone with doctors there still trying to find a cure.
Yeah, we've heard that before, huh, Tess?
And that whatever happened to me is the key to finding a vaccine.
Oh, Jesus.
It's what she said.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Hey, fuck you, man. I didn't ask for this.
Me neither. Tess, what the hell are we doing here?
What if it's true?
I can't...
What if, Joel? I mean, we've come this far. Let's just finish it.
Do I need to remind you what is out there?
I get it.
So there's a lot going on in that scene.
This way.
So
If we cut through downtown, we can hit the Capitol building by sunrise.
We hope.
as a person who has suffered from depression and anxiety, and something that I plan on talking about a lot, and just sort of generally on this stream, there's something about hope sometimes that is more painful than being hopeless.
I guess this is what these buildings look like at home.
When you're so low that
So what happened?
you can't feel anything, that you're just numb.
Hoping to kill as much of the infected as possible.
Seeing the knowledge that there is light out there and that you can't see the path to it
Yeah. Sounded pretty far away though.
is one of the more painful things that I've ever experienced in my life. And I think there's a little bit of that in Joel here. And I think he looked at Tess as being someone who could protect him from hope. Like he could look to his neighbor and they were cynical and snarky and, you know, the world is what it is now. Let's not pretend that there's a way out. So with Tess showing a glimmer of buying into this idea that the world could be changed, I'm not going to get that pendant. I think it hit Joel as losing an ally, losing a partner in the world. And then, of course, there's that indicator
Been ripped apart.
that
Body's pretty fresh.
Tess knows his history
Yeah, it might be.
and knows
Stick around.
the girl is going to have or has an effect on him. And she'll acknowledge it even if he won't. And then there's just Ellie being Ellie. A freaking gift to the world. And here we're introduced to clickers. I love this, how it's growing into the wall. It's becoming part of the wall.
So what are they?
Sort of. I see using sound.
Like that?
Like that.
So there are a couple movies and books that that sort of get attached to this game. The Road being one of the obvious ones.
Watch your head.
You know, there are people who call this the Citizen Kane of video games, that sort of thing. But two properties that I think about the most, one is a movie called Stalker, and one is a movie that came out recently called Annihilation. The Annihilation does something similar, where it is different types of matter blending with each other and morphing into each other. And oh shit. And you'll see cases like that throughout the game, like that clicker who is sort of growing up the wall.
Search for supplies.
And there's a macabre sort of beauty to it. Nature taking over. And Annihilation does that too, in really, really striking, beautiful ways that manage to be equally horrifying. There is an element in Annihilation, if it's the bear, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That is the only time I've ever been in a movie theater and felt like curling up into a ball and covering my ears. Like, it's just one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen on film and heard on film. And I think about that film a lot when playing this game. The other movie, Stalker, shares a lot of similar things with Annihilation, where there's a destination inside this sort of mystical zone that they have to get to, and the idea is in Stalker is there's a room in the end of this weird area where something happened, and if you're able to get to that room, your greatest wish will be granted. And both it and Annihilation deal with this sort of journey through a mysterious place to this questionable destination.
Come on.
And I think those two are. Look at those. Seriously, those verticals are. When I turn 50, I'm gonna do do I have better hops than Joel challenge. I love clickers as much as I hate clickers. If you didn't know, those sounds were largely were not manipulated, were actually made by a human being. And what's cool about a game like this, where sound is so important, is you start to wonder if you're hearing things that are in the game or not. You'll actually run into instances where, you hear things, but you're not certain if they're in the game or if they're in your head or if they're, in the other room, whatever. Also,
Shitting my pants?
in cases like this where the only sounds you're going to run into are the clickers themselves, a moment like this coming up is absolutely terrifying.
Give me a second.
Because a loud sound is going to draw bad things. And so why wouldn't they have you do this?
Here you go, ladies.
What the fuck?
Come on. The stairwell's blocked. Should we go back up? This is crazy. Just don't look down.
So I have to know, as someone who played the Uncharted games and knew this was from the same people, am I the only one that when I jumped out onto this just expected like Uncharted construction and bolts to come out and cables to snap and suddenly I'm hanging off of a high rise? Because we know Joel can only climb up with either a ladder or a lady. And neither would be present in that case. Yeah. Let's go. Somebody's got the monies. Okay, thank you.
I'll go check it out. Stay.
So I know someplace in a note or something they tell you that runners won't necessarily be attracted to your flashlight. I don't know if that's true. I don't believe them. and I never felt like trying it out. Nighty night. How many we got? We got 1, 2, 3. Okay, do I want to go? Oh, shit. Oh, he doesn't go past the wall. Okay. Does he? Turn around, Junior. There we go. All right. Go faster. This part in Survivor difficulty is a goddamn train wreck. I fucking hated it. I died so many damn times. In this area, unlike a lot of areas, because you have to get Ellie and Tess through there, you have to dispatch all of these runners and clickers and whatnot. Fuck. Somebody's got the sniffles. What am I doing? Stop. I keep doing the wrong game's controls. No shit. Oh, shit. Fuck. Get off me! Run! Wait, which is the run button? Fuck. That's really obnoxious.
Press, Joel.
Let's just get out of here.
All right, kids. I'll be right back. Uh-oh. Well, this is awkward. Anyway, how's everybody's night going? Anybody's PlayStation shut down in the middle of a stream? I mean, besides me. Mine.
Tess, go.
All right, hold on.
All right.
See? Doing all right?
Down we go.
Yeah, let's get to it.
You know, I was thinking, after we get back, we can take it easy for a little while.
You want to take it easy.
Hey, you're the one always going on about laying low.
And you always brush me off.
Well, I won't this time.
I believe it when I see it. Through here.
Over here. Look at his sleeve. Firefly.
Yep. These guys aren't doing well in or out of the city. Over there, see him?
Shit. God, we're almost out. Okay, Joel, you take point. I'll watch the rear. Ellie, no matter what, you stay right on his heels. Sure. You stay sharp.
I got it.
So, do we need to talk about the fact that my mic was off? We'll just continue. Moving on. I am looking for a safe combination. Which is right here. Always have all your bullets in the gun if you can. Oop, hello. That's just some, you know, life hack for you guys. Now, I thought that glass was not good to walk over, but maybe that's only in harder difficulties. Maybe you're more tender-footed in the Yes, I did just try to physically peer around a video game corner. Come at me, bro. Where is the safe? I'm all turned around. Man, I can't wait to get rid of my Corona beard. The only reason I've kept it is because I can't get a haircut. So I'm letting everything grow until I'm able to get a haircut, and then I'll clean myself up a little bit. But for now, I am shaggy AF. Man, I shouldn't have had to use that. Just because there's plenty doesn't mean I'm happy about wasting shit. Anything good in here?
This way. Almost out of this. Come on. Shit.
So coming up, we have one of the few places in this game that really kind of irk me. And that is the museum. Only because the game usually does such a good job of making things challenging without making them overwhelming. And the museum is the one place that I feel like they didn't quite get the balance right. Or maybe that's just me complaining because I died there a lot. It's just one place where I feel like I still have yet to find a very good strategy for dealing with it, because they just toss a shit ton of zombies at you. And it's either, do I just blow through my ammo, or that seems to be the option, is you just blow through as much of your stuff as you have.
Everyone okay?
Yes. Let's move.
I like to move it.
It's called luck. And it is gonna run out.
Always look on... Oh, wait. I don't want to get a DMCH strike.
Which way we going, Tess?
So let's just say you should always look on the bright side of life. I'm sure Joel would agree with me on that score. So these stanchions, you don't seem to draw attention if you knock them over. But if you don't know that, and there are plenty of places like that in this game where every little thing that you do, you just expect runners. And no, why? What? I didn't do anything. Yeah, no, that was juicy.
Here we go.
They're recently infected. Those soldiers must have just turned.
Which means there's more.
So, knocking over a stanchion, you're cool. Laying 3 fingers on a handlebar, you are toast. All right. These are the rules.
Climb on up.
Chow stick?
Maybe we can cut through here.
Yeah, that worked out great last
Oh. The noise. Only I think this time it really is a bad deal. Yeah.
Okay, double time.
They're coming.
I know.
Okay, that's good, go.
So,
Something on your shoe.
so my own particular history, whenever these doors, whenever I think of those doors, I think of
How do we get out of this?
the 3D audio play of The Mist that is completely dating me. It came out when I was in high school or so. So I don't know. So this was like mid 90s. And there's a scene where there are a bunch of tentacles just sliding over that door and that type of door. And the sound always makes me think of it.
You know, explore the city. I was in the mall when I ran into infected.
That place is completely off limits. How the hell did you get in there?
I had my ways.
Yeah, she's resourceful.
Anyways, one of those
She's a scamp. Is scamp gendered?
I see. Were you with Marlene when you were bitten?
No. I went in
Ammunition, give me a bullet.
I told you. She's gonna be fine.
Ah, the dreaded loneliness of an empty desk drawer. An inadvertent symbol of the frustrations of item management in this game.
Tess.
Would you control your charge? So if you guys are thinking that this is a little too smooth a playthrough,
All right, watch your head.
I'm going to get all the trophies except for the Survivor Plus playthrough for my platinum, and then you can come back and watch me suffer through that that monstrosity.
Tess.
You want to talk about the horror of empty drawers? Holy hell! Survivor difficulty. Just repeatedly opening shit when you're desperately in need of stuff and finding absolutely nothing. I don't think the first time, because I have the platinum on PS3, and I'm pretty sure when I did my Survivor Plus run, or my Survivor runs just generally, I didn't open a single shiv door. The shivs were too important, too valuable to gamble on. Mm-hmm. Don't. Stop it. There you go. Real quick. Ooh. Shiv Master. I thought I already had this. Well, that would explain why that clicker got me earlier. All right, this is the part I was talking about. I really, really hate this. Hey man, do you know you're on fire? Get off me. Yeah. So yeah, that's my best strategy for that room. And it's friggin' terrible because I used all of my Molotov. Oh, and I didn't even kill everybody. Wait, what? No, fine. Just stand there, Tess. Oh, shit. Okay. I get it. Oh, it's so juicy. What the hell? Okay, never mind.
Tess, how you holding up?
Tess has a secret.
This way. This will get us to the roof.
How about you, kid? You okay?
Fine, okay.
Are you still breathing?
Too small. And I'm okay.
So for the most part, as you can tell from my name, PS Platinum Phil, like platinum trophies are kind of. I enjoy getting them in video games. The platinum for Last of Us is partly really great, partly really, really irritating. The game has collectible trophies that include. Hold on, I love this moment.
Watch your step as you're going out, because it's going to be a little.
So the collectible trophies are great because they encourage you to seek out the different notes and bits that are strewn throughout the game, and a lot of them are really wonderful world builders.
Can't deny that view.
There's stories like Ishmael.
Hey, let's
pick it up.
looking at his watch. And I think that's the first time he really makes the connection. And of course, Tess.
We're almost done. Stay focused.
Tess sees it.
Yes, ma'am.
But there are things that are kind of obnoxious in the collectibles category. Like
Come on.
these optional conversations, which are great. I mean, they're fantastic. They're just occasionally, more than occasionally, they're off the beaten path. And they sprout under really weird circumstances, especially when we're talking about the whole Ellie's jokes things. And collectible trophies are always kind of a bummer to me if they don't directly contribute to the game itself. If they don't enhance the game. And while the optional conversations certainly do enhance the world and enhance the game, they're spaced out in a way that that can take away from the flow of the game. And this game is paced so just exquisitely that when you're playing through and end up walking into every stupid corner because you're looking for a note or a trigger. At least with the Firefly tags, and then what's the other one? Oh, and then the notes and stuff. There's a counter on the chapter select that tells you when you're missing one. The optional conversations. I missed one. I'm missing one. I don't know where it is. And as much as I love playing through this game, that's obnoxious.
No.
What happens now?
What are you doing, Tess?
Maybe they had a map or something to tell us where they were going.
How far are we gonna take
As far as it needs to go. Where was this lab of theirs?
Oh, she never said. She only mentioned that it was someplace out west.
What are we doing here? This is not us.
What do you know about us? About me?
I know that you are smarter than this.
Really? Guess what? We're shitty people, Joel. It's been that way for a long time.
No, we are survivors.
This is our chance.
It is over, Tess! Now, we tried. Let's just go home.
I'm not going anywhere. This is my last stop.
What?
Our luck had to run out sooner or later.
You going on?
No, don't!
So here we see Joel's philosophy sort of crashing down. It's real convenient to say you're survivors. It can sort of excuse everything in this sort of world.
Show it to me.
But when
Oh, Christ.
all of those things don't keep you from surviving, pokes holes in that worldview.
This was 3 weeks. I was bitten an hour ago, and it's already worse. This is fucking real, Joel. You've got to get this girl to Tommy's. He used to run with this crew. He'll know where to go.
No. That was your crusade. I am not doing that.
Yes, you are. Look, there's enough here that you have to feel some sort of obligation to me, so you get her to Tommy's. They're here.
Damn it.
I can buy you some time, but you have to run.
You want us to just leave you here?
Yes.
There's no way that...
I will not turn into one of those things. Come on. Make this easy for me.
God, what a great line.
No, just go!
Such a good line. And again, Joel is completely outmatched.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this.
Get a move on.
He's a man who does not handle loss well, never learned how to handle loss well.
What the fuck? I can't believe we did that.
Stop.
We just left her to die.
Stop.
Stay close to me. We have to move.
Oh, man.
Was that a frog? Sorry, squirrel. There was a frog. I heard it again.
We'll go upstairs. Probably get out from there. Just keep pushing forward.
Jeez, they shoot her enough, or was it?
Copy that.
Tess.
You, take out the door. You, with me. Yes, sir.
So when things like this happen in this game, you get this feeling like Joel goes into like not Terminator mode, like Kurt Russell in Tombstone mode, where just he will not be stopped. He's Wyatt Earp, and he's gonna wreck some shit. Nothing is more like that than the last scene, or last, well, yeah, the last level. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm trying not to die. Oh, well, I am super exposed right now. Fudge cakes. I'm 40 years old, and I just said fudge cakes. Judge me. Okay. Yeah, I do this. It's my thing. How are you still so surprised? All right, I saw 4 people, yeah? Oh, yeah, my thing. Wait, which thing? Is it this button? Language. Wait, where'd he go? Is there wait, what was that? Someone can see me? Who can see me? I am super... What is going on?
Alright, let's search out here. Don't check over there.
All right. Oh, so clearly I just got spotted. Shit. I know, it's exciting. I am...
Go, come on.
Wait a minute. What the what? Oh, boy. Ow. Oh. Look at all the skull bits. Wait. Where am I going? Oh, 2x4. Another staple of the man versus zombie genre.
We're gonna go through that hall. Stay down. I don't know how many more there are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there someone behind me? Oh, I'm so bad at this. Oh. Ow! Why? I am terrible. Oh. God, this is embarrassing. Can I, like, unstream this? Oh, man. His right crosses sick. Wait, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how these cats do the freaking Dark Soul no-hit runs and stuff with maintaining chat, and I don't even have, no one's even in here right now. Maintaining chat and talking. I'm so dumb. Ooh. Somebody sees me. Go that way, sir.
Joel, there's the exit.
Ah, why? All right, fine. Yeah, saying that isn't going to keep me from setting people on fire.
There's stairs over there.
Stay low.
I totally forgot I had the rifle. Your SUV is showing. Okay, so they're not gonna let me.
There's a soldier over there.
How the hell are you breathing in this stuff?
I wasn't lying to you.
Spot him? No, place is empty. I'll check out this area. Check over there.
I think I can get around these guys, but let's curb stomp them anyway. What am I supposed to drink? Cafe Florentio. So this is, I just wanted to take a moment. This is fungus growth from the fungus that infects people, and it's beautiful.
We'll be out there before you know it.
Oh yeah.
It's behind you.
What? You're behind me? Oh shit.
You're not getting out of here.
Nighty night. All right, let's go.
That was fucking close.
Yeah, water in this game isn't very frequent, but it always gives you an incredible sense of vulnerability, whether it's because it blocks passages, it separates you from Ellie, or it just slows you down. Oops, my bad. Wait, I think this tells me.
Hey, look, it still works.
Where the hell is this guy? Nope. I'll be quiet. Wait, I think, is there something in here? Oh yeah, there's the room. Oh.
Just stay put.
Well, that's what I was looking for. Anything else good? Got a Firefly logo. Or I guess it's technically a tag. I'm not hip with the nomenclature.
Anything down there?
It's a dead.
It's a dead. And I remember these parts being really obnoxious to me when I first played the game. These palette parts. If you had asked me after I played it for the first time how many of them there were, I would have said like a dozen. I think there's only really like 3. But they just control so wonky, and they sort of the fact that Ellie doesn't get dumped in the water when you turn and stuff, it's just sort of it takes away from the immersion quality of the game. So it's completely underwater right now. It's okay, Naughty Dog. I forgive you. Although I see a single pallet in the water in Last of Us 2, I'm gonna burn something down.
I got it.
All right. Oh, here's some more of the pretty fungus.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, look, about Tess. I don't even know what
Here's how this thing's gonna play out. You don't bring up Tess. Ever. In fact, we just keep our histories to ourselves. Secondly, don't tell anybody about your condition. They think you're crazy, they'll try to kill you. And lastly, you do what I say when I say it. We clear?
Sure.
Repeat it.
What you say goes.
Good.
Little kids have a way of saying shit,
Now, there's a
not the
town
way that you said it.
a few miles north of here, there's a fella there that owes me some favors. Good chance he could get us a car.
Okay.
Let's get a move on. Now, there we go. Yeah, it'll be faster to go through here.
That was my vibrating controller.
What?
So I think this is a good place to wrap up tonight's stream. Tomorrow we'll do Billstown. maybe up until we meet the other pair of individuals in this game. But for those of you who stopped in, thanks for stopping in, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow night.